Good afternoon. Welcome back here for the third segment today of our Food for Thought sports betting picks and plays. This is for NHL hockey and the National Championship college football game, Ohio State versus Notre Dame. First, we'll leave the National Championship college football game for last and do the NHL picks first. For the odds, up-to-date odds, totals, over-unders, injury reports, we're going with Odds Logic, oddslogic.com. This is where we have all the latest updates for your latest line moves, line picks, over-unders, totals, injury reports for all the sports, all the leagues. We have that here. So if you're wondering where we were getting this information from, that's where we're getting it, oddslogic.com. So now we're going to be looking at our first NHL game here this afternoon. Minnesota at Colorado. That starts in an hour, 3 p.m. Total opened up at 6. Colorado favored. Depending on where you're looking for the game, it's 6. Like I said, right now for hockey, it's at some places have still at 6, so still at 6. Some places have it at 5.5. You also have to shop around. Colorado favored. So in this matchup here, the last 10 head-to-head, 7-3 Colorado, 4-5-1 to the under in this matchup. They played about 2 weeks ago, January 5th in Minnesota. The total was 6 at the time. The score was 6-1. Colorado won in Minnesota. Since that time, Minnesota now the last 10 5-5, last 10 6-4 to the over. Since losing to Colorado, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games, so have not done too well. And now they're on a 2-game road trip. This is the last game of the road trip. So they got Colorado tonight on the road. Colorado, in the meanwhile, 6-3-1 the last 10 games, 5-5 over/under, so they're even. So Colorado basically has been flip-flopping wins and losses, and their last 5, 3-2 to the over. 3-2 to the over. And for Minnesota, last 5, 3-2 to the over as well. So the only way to look, both teams right now in the current form that they're at, they're trending to the over. Both teams 3-2 to the over last 5 games. The last game 2 weeks ago was over the total. So the only way to look in this game is over. Over 5.5, over 6 goals. That's the way to look. As far as the side, I would look, let's see here. Let me look at the puck line for a minute. I'm going to take a look at that to see if there's any value on the puck line for this game. Let's see. Puck line. No value on the puck line. I'd pass on the side. I just take over 6 goals. Minnesota, Colorado over 6. That's my play for that game. The next game we're going to look at, it's Buffalo at Seattle. Total 5.5. Seattle favored in this game. Head-to-head matchup. 6-1 Seattle, head-to-head, 6-1 to the over. They played about a week ago. In Buffalo, the total was 6. Seattle won in Buffalo 6-2. So this is the rematch, the second game. Buffalo, after then, last 10 games, 5-4-1, 6-2-2 to the over. Last 5, 4, let's see, 3-1-1 to the over. Seattle last 10, 4-5-1, 6-3-1 to the over. Seattle flip-flopping wins and losses. Last 5, 3-1-1 to the over. So again, I would lean to the over in this game. I know Seattle won the last game in Buffalo. In the rematch, though, I'm gonna look at let's see, in this one here. This game's in Seattle. I'm gonna take Buffalo on the puck line, plus 1.5 goals. Buffalo on the puck line, and I like the over 5.5 goals, and Buffalo on the puck line. I like that. Next game, St. Louis at Vegas. Total is 6. 5.5 other places. St. Louis, Vegas is favored at home. 6-4 last 10 games. Vegas head-to-head. 6-4 to the over. They did play last year in Vegas, October 11th, 2024. Total at the time was 6. Vegas won 4-3. Last 10, St. Louis against other opposition, 5-5, 5-4-1 to the over. That's St. Louis, 3-2 the last 5 games. 1. Let's see, 1-3-1 to the under. The last 5 games. As for this, and this is their second road game. They lost 4-2 to Utah on the road. Vegas 4-6 last 10, 3-7 to the under. Vegas has lost 3 games in a row on the road trip. Not really good to back a team coming off a road trip. Really not in this spot, personally. Last 5, though, they are 2-3 to the under. The only way I would look, I would lean to the over in this game, over 5.5 goals. It's not a strong play for me. I just lean to the over. You figure coming off a 3-game road trip, goalie might be a little bit rusty. Defense might be rusty. You only had 2 days to rest after the Chicago game. Or actually, you had a day to rest, because you had a day off. So not enough time to recover from a long East Coast road trip or Midwest road trip. So that's why I lean to the over. Goalies might be a little rusty coming up first game back. And as for the side, of this game, I lean to St. Louis plus the 1.5 goals. I would lean that way. It's not an official play. I was lean that way. Lean plus 1.5 St. Louis, and lean to the over. That's what I see for that game. Next game, Columbus and the Islanders. This one, head-to-head, 8-2 Islanders. Last 10, 5-4-1 to the over. They played once in October 30th in Columbus. It was The total was 6. It was under 6, and the Islanders won, and Columbus won 2-0. This is the rematch now. Columbus last 10 games, 7-2-1. Last 10, 5-5 over under. Columbus at that time, they had won 6 straight games, lost to the Rangers, a close one at home. During the winning streak, they had went 3-4 to the under. Islanders, meanwhile, 5-5 last 10, 3-7 to the under. Islanders 3-2 last 5. Last 5, 1-4 to the under. In this game here, I'm going to take the over. I know they're trending to the under, but I'm going to look at the over in this game. I just feel that, I feel in this game, this game might open up a little bit. I've noticed that. It's going to open up, especially at the 5.5 total range. Islanders, this game might be, it might open up a little bit. The style of play might open up a little bit. And not a lot of line movement in this game. That's another thing too. So I like the over here. Not sure if I'm going to get to the window with this game for the over, but I like it. I lean that way. Side, no play on the side. I just lean the over. It might be a more open style play. Next game, Tampa at Toronto. Total 6.5. Total. Leafs favored. 7-3 Leafs last 10. 6-3-1 to the over. They played twice already. October 21st in Toronto, 5-2. Total is 6.5. It went over. Second game, November 30th in Tampa Bay. Total was 6. Leafs won 5-3. This one is 6.5 in Toronto again. I'm going to lean to the over in this game. I'm going to take the over. Even though both teams are trending to the under, and the Leafs have won 2 straight, Tampa has won 2 straight. I'm taking the over. I like over 6.5 goals. Let's see where it's at now. I like over 6.5. I'll take that. No play on the side, but I like the over there. Next game I like is Chicago, Carolina. Carolina -6. Total is 6 in that game, and Carolina favored in Chicago. Head-to-head, haven't played yet. 5-3-1-1 last 10. Carolina against other opposition. 3-6-1 to the under. Carolina as well. Carolina 3-2 last 5 games. 1-3-1 last 5 to the under. Carolina. As for Chicago, 3-6-1 last 10, 6-2-2 to the over. Chicago had ended a 4-game losing streak. One in Vegas, one at home against Vegas. Have gone 4-1 to the over. Chicago the last 5. In this game, I'm gonna take Carolina, Chicago. I'm gonna take the over 5.5 goals. I think Chicago, despite them losing a few of their last couple games at home, the teams offensively, they still give up a lot of goals, and I think Carolina can take advantage of that, and that will get the scoring up.